Wall Street Book Club. Evan Jefferson, brother, much love. Educating, elevating, because in knowledge is the power and we'll never give it up. Literature's for the masses. Where to put your money down, now how to watch your assets. Yeah, uplifting others is a passion. My brother Evan, he will turn it into action. New Black Wall Street Book Club. You should come read with us. Yeah, we comprehend and discuss. If we all just come together, there's no limit for us. Here comes your host, New Black Wall Street. Evan, take it away. New Black Wall Street. New Black Wall Street Book Club.
Hey, top of the morning to you, and also happy Black Woman Wednesday here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put in a book like The Wealth Choice, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, and we absolutely will find it. I'm your host, ERGJ, your certified global financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, The Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. Book that I wrote, guys, is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. And I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. Well, beautiful people, you can find that book by simply going to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. While you're there, you also find a tab that says the store where you can find other financial literacy books for your kids. We do have books that introduce them to credit, investing, insurance, entrepreneurship. And this last whole month of us telling people this, there still has not been one person to go buy a book. And that is our problem. But nonetheless, I digress. We'll keep on moving on. So you can go to the store there. You'll find those books as well. And then we do have a tab that says join the club. When you go there, you'll find an opportunity to actually join us. If you want to be a part of our club, we have about 50 slots left. That's it. Once we get to 250, that's it. We're only going to roll with 250. We're going to roll with the few who are serious about building wealth, the few who are serious about building business, and the few who are serious, first and foremost, about building themselves. All right, so we're going to go. So check us out at theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. We look forward to continue to prosper and join with you guys. That's just what we do. Y'all know what time it is. Roll call time. Let's find out who has joined us here this morning. The early bird gets the worm, and you guys are waking up early to increase your wealth consciousness by joining us to read. That's right, man. In honor of LeVar Burton, Reading Rainbow 2.0. Take a look. It's in a book. And the book that we'll be continuing the journey through is The Wealth Choice, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. What's going on with you over Instagram? We're broadcasting on Instagram, Facebook, and also YouTube using the World Wide Web, understanding that we're connected all over the globe. So we want to know where you're connecting from, what city, what state, what country, what city, what state, what country you might be joining with us here today. All right, man. We'll see who's here, man. Tyrese Lewis, man. Happy morning to you. Great morning to you, brother. Thanks so much for joining us today. Miss Goodrich is in the house. Brother Sidney Mealy out of H-Town is in the house as well. Miss Vivian Reed out of New York has joined us here this morning on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Miss Sandra McClam out of Huntsville, Alabama has joined us here as well. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Miss Teresa Harvey Gilliard, Mr. Wilhelm Watt is here with us as well on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Thanks so much for joining. Miss Amanda Hollingsworth out of ATL is in the house. I don't know if that is Miss Jamila Walker is here as well. We know we're doing something right if we got the super Miss Jamila Walker agent here with us out of Newark, New Jersey. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Miss Mankins Golden out of Greenville, South Kakalaki. Thanks so much for joining us today. Mr. Modupe, my brother from Nigeria. Man, this brother continues to support. We appreciate you, man. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. We're going to continue our journey into this book. Again, it's The Wealth Choice, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires. We're going to be continuing our journey into the fifth law. I do want to let you guys know that the next book, because we're almost done with this, probably maybe 2 more weeks, maybe 3. I think we'll be done 2 to 3 weeks from now. We're going to move into the book that I wrote, okay? We're going to go ahead. And this will be probably the first time I actually completely read my book in public. So I guess I need to read my own writing. So we're going to do that. The Black Billionaires Club. We'll read that next. And that's going to be a short read. It's probably going to take us 2 weeks to read through this book. But you want to pick it up. We got about 6 copies left. If you want to get the physical book, you can do that as well. I do want to do a quick shout out to our sponsor. We'll get right to our reading here this morning. I want to shout out to Black Billionaires Club. Again, check them out at theblackbillionairesclub.com. We have the Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, which specializes in Afrocentric home decor, black art inspired gifts, and personal care products. Check them out at theblackbazaar.com. That's right, theblackbazaar.com. Blackberry Charisma, Black woman-owned business that you can choose to support. Rise and shine to you over Heavenly Kinky Curls over Instagram. She specializes in custom crafts, also has some pretty dope lingerie. So we got a Black woman that has a lingerie business, a company as well that you can choose to do business with as well to circulate your dollars right back within your very own community. Check her out at www.blackberrycharisma.com, www.blackberrycharisma.com. For the Hustler Books, this brother here has written a book to help you to start your business or expand what you currently do. You buy his book, he's going to give you a free consultation to be able to help you turn your dream into reality. Check out Hustler Books by going to the website hustlerbooks.com. And last but not least, Big Sis Media Group. Big Sis, where would ERGJ be, the brand be, if it was not for Big Sis? So if you find yourself in a situation where you are still operating like it's 1999 and you know it's time for you to upgrade, you know it's time for your commercial, you know it's time for that website, you know it's time for you to be digital in a digital age, well, make sure you check out BigSisMediaGroup.com so she can help you, right? Do what she does best. She's a big sis to your digital needs. That's right, www.bigsismediagroup.com. And I will say this, if you're a person that's watching this and you're saying, you know what, I want to support in this way. You want me to put my mouth on your business. Well, go ahead and make sure you inbox us over ERGJ Enterprises. You can be a supporter. You can be a sponsor, of this program as well. If you feel that it's important that we continue to read, you feel it's important that we choose to level ourselves up, well, you can be a sponsor. You can do something great, right, with your money, and also get in front of over about 50,000 people at this particular point. We got a lot of followers as well, so we can help you. You help us, we'll help you. Okay. Now, let's get right to this thing. Jennifer Almer has joined us as well. Grand Rise. Anybody else joined us lately? Right? Antoinette Ross is the boss, is the house man in the house. Miss Nicole Martin is in the house. That's right. Black folk do read. Miss Glenda Tate Williams has joined us as well. Miss Alea Love is in the house as well. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's get right into this thing. The wealth choice, the 5th law of wealth. Let's do a quick recap over the first 4 laws. Of course, we got interrupted yesterday. Not a good interruption. So the first law says this, that wealth begins in the mind and it ends in the purse. Wealth begins in the mind, it ends in the purse. Second law of wealth says this, decide now that you will not be poor. Decide now that you will not be poor. The third law of wealth is the faith law, simply says this, believe in yourself when no one else will. Believe in yourself when no one else will. And the fourth law is the consistency law, I guess we could say. It simply says this, to thine own self be true. To thine own self be true. So let's really understand what these things are saying. The first law really steps into the frame that says that, man, here's an opportunity for you and I to increase our wealth consciousness, to grow our wealth consciousness, to sort of begin to surround ourselves with wealth, to begin to read wealth, begin to listen to wealth, begin to hang out with wealth, begin to talk wealth, and then we will begin to renew or be transformed by the renewing of our mind to be able to accept wealth. And then the second law goes into the decision. It says, hey, now that I know better, I have to decide to do better. Just because you know better does not mean that you will do better, but you can decide to do better. So now that I know that wealth is available to me, now that I filled myself with all this wealth stuff, now I'm deciding to go get it. Everybody putting down, so get it. Now I'm deciding to go get it. Now, of course, when I say that, it doesn't mean you're chasing money, because we don't chase money. Right? What we do is we become more attractive to money. We become more a money magnet, and money chases us. Right? So go get it just simply means I'm going to keep becoming more and more attractive person each and every day. And then the third law says this, man. And now I got to get beyond all the people, all the naysayers, all the doubt, all the worry that's in the world, because I just have to simply believe that it not only is it possible, but that it's possible for me. I decide, I build. I decide, I believe. And then the fourth law simply says this, I know that there's many paths to this thing called wealth. And so I'm going to stay in my lane, and I'm going to find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. I'm going to stay in my lane. And I'm going to find the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. In the comments below, I want to know in the comments below, what's your lane? What is your lane? Now, we asked this question yesterday. Hopefully, you had time to think about it. If you're trying to wonder, well, what is my lane? It simply is this question that comes from Maya Angelou. She says this: what is it that you do so well that it makes it impossible for other people to ignore you? That is your lane. That is where the money resides for you. Where the money resides for me or where the money resides for you is not the same, nor does it need to be, because it takes a village. And we need people in all areas working in their 10 in all areas for us to have a functioning, flowing village. So what is your lane? Let me ask this question again. I'm going to ask this question probably every day for the rest of the week until you start answering it. Right. What is it that you do so well that it makes it impossible for other people to ignore you? Now, here's the thing. If I understand what's going to make it impossible for other people to ignore me, and I understand this thing called marketing, the whole point of marketing is to capture people's attention. And if I'm doing something that makes it impossible for other people to ignore me, then I have now captured their attention. And if you can capture their attention, then you can actually capture their bank account, their money. Would you agree? If I can capture your attention, then I'm in a good position to be able to capture your money. Now, I know y'all don't like to hear that, but I'm just telling you the truth. It is what it is. That's what they spend billions of dollars for to go on the Super Bowl ad. That's why you see everything on TV and everything that's in the news and everything that's on YouTube. They're trying to capture your attention so they can capture your money. I'm just saying, hey, why don't you participate in the process and do the same? Again, what is it that you do so well that it makes it impossible for other people to ignore you? I'm telling you, if you just take the time to answer that question, then you are 95. You're in front of 95% of the people who are on their road, on the road to wealth, or on the road to their pot of gold. You're on the path. If you refuse to answer that question, or you act like you can't figure it out for yourself, well, you're right along. You're in the same pathway as 95% of the people who are walking around aimlessly, drifting, no direction. And I'm talking about as it relates to getting to the money. You understand what I'm saying? Ms. Backman can go and say, man, professional education in the hair and beauty industry. I'm an educator extraordinaire. I create and teach. She understands exactly. Ms. Tanisha Renee, man, cooking, baking, and writing. 3 simple things. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what makes it impossible for other people to ignore me. When they taste my food and when they see me cooking, they read my writing. 2 answers thus far. Okay, we're gonna keep working on it. Okay. Hey, let's get into this thing, man. New Black Wall Street Book Club, The Fifth Law of Wealth, as we continue our journey here into The Fifth Law of Wealth, a book written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. We're going to start with To Whom Much Is Given, New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's read. Let's read. As profiled in the Washington Post, it was billed as the largest, most eye-popping of the inauguration hotel packages to J.W. Marriott's $1 million build-your-own ball offer. You got 300 rooms, 4 suites, $200,000 worth of food and drink, and a front row seat overlooking the Pennsylvania Avenue parade route. As it was snapped up within hours of Barack Obama's presidential election by a customer the hotel declined to identify. Just hours before the gala, Marriott Hotel officials announced that the buyer was a Virginia businessman who simply wanted to bring to the inauguration the disadvantaged as well as the terminally ill, wounded veterans, and others down on their luck. In the midst of the worst economic recession in more than 70 years and a downturn in economic and corporate giving, Earl W. Stafford bucked the trend. Instead of cutting back and trimming costs, Stafford gave abundantly to those hoping to see better days. By his own estimation, the high-tech entrepreneur wrote checks for nearly $2 million to fund his people's inauguration project, a sprawling 3-day philanthropic effort to bring more than 400 disadvantaged citizens, including the homeless and elderly, to Washington, D.C. to participate in this once-in-a-lifetime event. Stafford said the idea was inspired by his deep religious faith and the good fortune that has come his way. The inauguration was an opportunity to remember the less fortunate and remind the country of its traditions of benevolence. We wanted to bless those who otherwise would not have an opportunity to be part of this grand celebration, he explained. We've gotten away from those core values that made America great. We need to get back to the business of caring for each other. We must become our brother's keeper. Now, of course, this is Black Woman Wednesday. If you are your sister's keeper, go and put in the console, I am my sister's keeper. Not just our brother's keeper, but our sister's keeper as well. Happy Black Woman Wednesday to you. I am my sister's keeper. If that's you, go and put that in the comments below. I am my sister's keeper. Earl W. Stafford, the ninth of 12 children, was born in Mount Holly, New Jersey. His father, Baptist minister, worked as a laborer for 40 years while his mother cooked and cleaned in the homes of the well-to-do. Although money was scarce, Stafford and his siblings never considered themselves poor. At an early age, each child developed a strong work ethic. A can-do attitude was the rule, not the exception. After high school, Stafford entered the Air Force, where he became an air traffic controller. While off duty, he pursued college-level courses at the University of Massachusetts and later earned an MBA from the Southern Illinois University before completing executive coursework at the Harvard Business School. Following his Air Force career, Stafford founded Universal Systems and Technology, Unitech, in 1988. Under his leadership, Unitech grew from a small professional services firm to a robust business with more than 400 employees. After leading Unitech for 21 years in 2009, Stafford sold it to Lockheed Martin. At that time, the company had surpassed the $150 million mark in annual sales. What's going on, Brother Jacob Dean? My brother from Ethiopia is in the house. I am my sister's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. We must get back to caring for one another. I am my sister's keeper. That's right. I am my sister's keeper. So Earl W. Stafford, obviously we're talking about a Black man here who went above and beyond to make sure that those who couldn't afford to were able to go to the inauguration of Barack Obama when he became president, right? Much is required. Much is required. To whom much is given, much is required. To whom much is given, much is required. Go and put that in the comments below. To whom much is given, much is required. The project was inspired by his deep religious faith that Stafford should direct a portion of his fortune to help the underserved. A few months later, he cornered the presidential suite at Washington, D.C.'s Hay Adams Hotel, adjacent to Lafayette Park, as well as the White House. His initial thoughts were to hire a caterer, and then depart. But that changed weeks later when his brother-in-law shared a newspaper story regarding the inaugural package offered by the Marriott. The next day, Stafford bought the package. Once news of his plans hit the street, Stafford and his foundation were overwhelmed. More than 7,000 phone calls, emails, and messages poured into his nonprofit foundation requesting tickets, nominating deserving individuals, or offering to lend a helping hand by volunteering to aid such a worthy cause. Hundreds of well-wishers even sought him out at home, just to say thank you. Like so many of the wealth creators interviewed in this study, Stafford loves his life. Due in part to the windfall the wealth creators received after dedicating a lifetime to building their business or pursuing their financial goals, most openly state that the money is great because it buys freedom, while offering a greater degree of choice. The money that you and I accumulate, it buys freedom and offers us a greater degree of choice. The money that you and I accumulate as we work hard and work smart, it buys freedom and offers a greater degree of choice. But it doesn't end there. Each is quick to point out that wealth translates into happiness only when it is self-earned and specifically is the direct result of individual effort. The highest degree of happiness occurs only when you begin to affect the lives of others. Here lies the real value that you've added to the world. Each of us would do well to admit that circumstances does play a role, that wealth often places unworthy sons and daughters into high positions of influence, that contacts may place ordinary clergymen into extraordinary pulpits, that status and degree do gain a lawyer clients and a physician patients and marginal students acceptance into the most prestigious programs. However, in the long run, position, clients, patients, and schools do not necessarily constitute financial success. We would do better served to realize that the best man or woman does capture the victor's cup and that character and persistent mare do win the race. You doubt me? Or Paul, who was never revered until he occupied a prison cell in Rome, the carpenter from Galilee reached the height of his success while smitten, spat on, tormented, and crucified. He cried in agony, yet with triumphant satisfaction said, "It is finished." Here's the key that looks beyond all boundaries, transcends all limitations, and penetrates all obstacles. There's a saying in the Bible, Stanford reminds us, to whom much is given, much is required. To whom much is given, much is required. Notice he came, he said, hey, look at these great men. And we can think about them. We can think about the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X's and all these great people who we actually celebrate their birthdays and stuff. It wasn't necessarily about the amount of money that they made. It was about the difference that they made. Let me say that again, and we can say it a better way. It wasn't about the money that they made. It was about the impact that they made. In the comments below, I want you to think about right now, not about the money that you're going to make. I want you to think about the money. I want you to think about millionaire status. I want you to think about millionaire impact. See, what happens for me is that when I go to my father, I talk about what I'm going to do with the money. So when I say to him and I put out into the world, we are building a school. They're not asking how much money I make. They're asking how much can they contribute so we can get the school built. And so as you think about your life, your aspirations, your goals, don't think about the money. Think about what you're going to do with the money. Because the money is only for you. If the money is only for you to have the nice car, the money is only for you to have the yacht, if the money is only for you to experience the greater pleasures of this life, well, you still don't have much. Because what does it profit a man to gain the whole world and to lose his own soul? So the reason why I believe that I've been blessed beyond measure is because I don't think about the money. I think about what I'm going to do with the money. The impact. How many of our brothers and sisters are talking about building a school? How many of our brothers and sisters are talking about building a hospital? How many of our brothers and sisters are talking about bringing something that's going to make our world a better place or our community a better place? Because we got a whole bunch of celebrities. We got a whole bunch of people that make a lot of money, but I don't see what kind of difference that they're making. Now, of course, it's not all. That's just some. But I'm speaking to you. What difference are you going to make with the money? Why do you need to have the money if you're not going to make a difference? Are you selfish or selfless? Are you your own keeper or are you your brother's keeper? Let's keep going. So what difference do you plan to make with the money that you get? What difference? And here's the thing. If I'm only going to make a small impact, it doesn't require a lot of money. If I'm going to make a huge impact, it may require a huge amount of money. I think that's the difference. Now I could be wrong. I'm just sharing based upon my experience, my 40 some odd years of living on this earth, my 40 years of studying and all that good stuff, and the experience as well. I've just noticed that if you're not really making a huge impact, you probably don't need a whole bunch of money, and that might be why you don't have a whole bunch of money, because you're not planning to make a big impact. You understand what I'm saying? But for those who say, man, I'm to change the world. Those who say, man, I got bigger fish to fry. Those are people that really need the money. And I believe that money's coming to them. Woo! It's getting hot in here. Well, it's getting hot in here. To whom much is given, much is required. New rules of money. New rules of money. What's going on, Hugh? How you doing, brother? Make a difference with the money, right? You're tracked based on your impact. Not about the money, it's about the impact. Not about the money, it's about the impact. The difference that you're going to make. The impact of people not falling into health and winding up a prison on the machines, right? I am myself. Okay. Selfish or selfless. Everybody putting console new rules. New rules of money. New Black Wall Street Book Club. Let's keep reading. New rules of money. Two key concepts stand front and center in nearly every profile mentioned within this chapter. First Each person, whether it's Bob Johnson or Herman Cain or Pamela Thomas Graham or Earl Stafford, could be labeled the ultimate renegade. That is, each broke the rules. Each broke the rules and thrived on the process of change. Starting from scratch, these millionaires established a clear plan for their financial future and set goals in motion regardless of the obstacles or roadblocks that stood in their path. Second, their financial dreams did not become a reality until they implemented the fifth law of wealth. The millionaires in this study clearly understand the difference between adding value and the sad cost of mediocrity. Everybody put in console, add value. They understand the difference between adding value and the sad cost of mediocrity. So when I wake up in the morning, I tell people, hey, I'll teach you how to trade. I'll teach you how to get rich. I'll teach you how to get out of debt. I'll teach you how to build wealth. And it's just simply for some low amount, it's $5 a month. Here's what happens. Those who are in the land of mediocrity, they say, it can't be you can't be doing much if it's $5 a month. So it's too inexpensive for them. These same people, if it was $500 a month, they would say, no, that's too expensive. I can't afford it. So they find a way to stay in the level of in the land of mediocrity because it's either too expensive or it's not valuable enough. And so they never move forward, no matter the price. So they stay where they are. So why do I say this? Because you, right? My brothers and sisters on Instagram, you, my brothers and sisters that's on Facebook, you, my brothers and sisters that's on Instagram, you understand that you could be adding extreme value into the lives of the people that you're connected to, but they don't see the value. So therefore, they're not willing to pay the price. But here's the wonderful news. Here's the beautiful news. There's someone somewhere that's looking to exchange their value for your value. And the whole thing, the only thing you got to figure out is how can I find the people? How can I find the people who are looking for me? And we simply say this, I'm looking for people who are looking for me. I'm not looking for everybody. I know everybody don't want to be rich. I know everybody don't want to get out of the debt. I know everybody don't want to build wealth for their family. I know everybody don't want to have an inheritance to their children's children. I know that's not everybody. The good book tells me that the poor will always be among us. So I understand that. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for people who are looking for me. And they see the value that I bring and they're willing to exchange value because they've moved beyond trying to get stuff for free. They realize if I begin to exchange, people will begin to exchange with me. Let me say that again for the people in the back. I think they just woke up. If I am willing to exchange, then people would be willing to exchange for me. But how is it? How will it be if you are unwilling to exchange, but yet you're expecting people to exchange with you? That doesn't make any sense. That would break laws. Do unto others as I would have them do unto me. But yet you do unto others you want for free, but then you want other people to pay for your stuff. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm stepping on your neck this morning. I'm sorry if I stepped on your toes this morning. I'm sorry if it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable for somebody to speak the truth. Karma is a bitch. Let me say that one more time. If you're unwilling to exchange value for the things that you want, how can you expect other people to exchange value for you, for your stuff, your value? Now you begin to understand why you might not be getting the kind of money that you want because you ain't been sowing the seed in order to reap the harvest. And you think it don't work. You think you can move beyond it. You think you can supersede laws. You think that you're not going to be subject to these laws that govern the universe for some reason. Or maybe you just don't know the laws. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you just don't know the laws. So when you begin to look at your pipeline, when you begin to look at your business, when you begin to look at the ideas that you put out there that you're looking for other people to pay for, ask yourself, have I been willing to pay for the stuff that I want? Have I been willing to exchange value for the things that I want? Because it's not always money. See, something as simple as hitting the like button could have been your exchange. That could have been all you had today. I just hit the like button. That's all I got today. I'm broke as a joke, but I can't hit the like button. I could have hit the share button. I could have done that. That was something I could have done. That might have been all I could do today. That could have been my 2 cents. That could have been my 2 mites, whatever that the woman exchanged. That could have been my exchange. I could have tagged somebody, let them know, man, we over here reading. We need to read more. I want to let other people know, let's read together. That could have been my exchange. Or I could have been selfish with the gifts and the values that I've been given. And just say, no, this just must be for me. The preacher must be speaking to me this morning. It's not always money. During a King Day celebration hosted by Spelman College, the historic all-female institution, former U.S. Ambassador Andrew Young spoke before an eager student body and tried desperately to bring closure to an all-too-familiar refrain. Throughout his remarks, he explained, there is no better way to honor and continue the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. than by pursuing his life's passion of freedom and equality. Leaning on the insightful thoughts of the social activist John Hope Bryant, the former congressman and King Confidant, crafted his words by clarifying that the next phase of the civil rights movement will focus on silver rights. Everybody putting down so silver rights. The financial empowerment of those who fought so valiantly to win their basic human rights. The dollar, Young admonished, speaks with a universal voice and dialect, challenging the underserved to seek a hand up and not a handout. It's time that each of us learns how to fish. It's time. Everybody put it down, so it's time. It's time that each of us learns how to fish. What does that mean? We got to learn how to get the money. We got to learn how to keep the money. We got to learn how to manage the money. If that's not what, if we're talking about white supremacy, more than we're talking about this, and these are our forefathers. These are the people that brought us through beyond human rights, beyond civil rights. And they're saying, hey, the next phase, I'm passing the baton over to you, Miss Guthridge. I'm passing the baton over to you, Miss Chaney. I'm passing the baton from our ancestors to us. They're passing the baton to Miss Newman. They're passing the baton to Miss Nita. They're passing the baton to Brother Wilhelm. It's time. They're passing the baton to Brother Hugh Little. And they're saying, you know what? We got you this far. We got you to what we call physical freedom. Now I'm passing the baton over to you, my son. You, my daughter, you, my niece, you, my nephew. And I'm saying, you go take it over. You go take us to the land of financial freedom. Silver rights. The financial empowerment of those who fought so valiantly to win their basic human rights. The dollar. Young administrator speaks with the universal voice of dialect, challenging the underserved to seek a hand up and not a handout. It's time that each of us learns how to fish. Give a man or a woman a fish and you feed them for a day, but teach them how to fish and you feed them for a lifetime. In this competitive and informative driven economy, we must learn how to fish so we won't go to our neighbors asking for a fish. We must learn how to fish so we won't go marching to the mayor's office begging for a fish. We must learn how to fish so we don't go picketing Congress demanding fish. We won't go picketing Congress demanding fish because Congress is running out of fish. God places into our hands the book of life, bright on every page with open secrets, and we will indeed suffer if it drops out of our hands unread. No matter how tired or how tried, serving others blesses and curses not. The most important work you will ever engage in, the most important work that you will ever engage in is the opportunity to be of service to others. The most important work that you will ever engage in is the opportunity to be of service to others. A great question to ask this morning could quite possibly be, how can I serve you today? How can I be of more service? How can I be of greater service today than I was yesterday? How can I do more? How can I provide more? How can I teach more? We must learn how to fish. In the comments below, I'd love for you to share something that you learned today. We don't do this to do this. We don't do this just to do this. We do this to make a difference. We do this to make an impact. And hopefully we've made an impact in your life today. We're simply reading the book, The Wealth Choice, Success Secrets of Black Millionaires, written by Dr. Dennis Kimbro. And I'm asking you to answer this question in the comments below. This could be your give back. This could be where you exchange value for value. Was this worth your time and why? Was this worth your time and why? Now, here's the interesting thing you'll notice. When it's time for the give back, when it's time for the offering plate to be passed around, and this is not an offering for money, a lot of people check out. Oh, he's not talking to me. Oh, I'm too busy to really just share with the brother how he's made a difference in my life today. With all this stuff, we start going to a place where we've been, right? We start going to a place of comfort. We going to a place that we have been conditioned for so long. I'm telling you, if you break that, you got to break it. You got to break it for you. Was this worth your time, and why? Now, I know I talk much faster than you type, so I'll let you guys know what's going on here today. Today is Black Woman Wednesday, so at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube, we will be doing our special broadcast presentation to honor, support, encourage the Black woman tonight. 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, make sure you tune in, and that's what we got going on tap today. We'll be back tomorrow at 7:45 for for more of our book club. Which will be Thursday, and then we do our 5:45 live trading for those that are members or supporters. Okay, those that are members or supporters. If you haven't got to that stage where you want to exchange some of your money so you can learn how to get more, well then we'll wait on you. Okay, but we're not gonna wait on you. We're gonna keep on moving, but we'll be here when you get to that point. Now, what do I say that? I said, well, that money isn't going towards just you learning. That money is actually going towards us building the school so we can teach the world. It's an international school that we're building. Okay, it crosses borders. Why are we doing that? Because we're beginning to get to a place where we have this thing called global or international money. So it only makes sense that we start moving our thought process from local to global for your business as well, whatever it is that you do, from local to global. Okay. Let's catch up on this comment, man. How to serve today from Miss Walker. How are you, Big Wolf, man? Service is reciprocal, right? Channy B, man, there's always worth my time. I learned so much from you in this book. Miss Kursky, man, it's worth my time. I learned about millionaire impact. Absolutely. That's right, man. How selfless, most important work is ever serve is to be a servant to others, and how selfless you are. Miss Antoinette Ross is about how can I be of greater service today? Miss Newman, man, you're teaching how to own the pond. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Vivian, learn how to give better service to other people. Miss Nicole Martin, yes, sowing seeds and new mindsets in me. Thank you, my pleasure. Miss Guthridge, stop chasing the money. Focus on the value. The money will come. Absolutely. Miss Goodrich, man, great story. Is worth the time. I get up in the morning to hear you. Absolutely. Miss Glenn say, the most important thing I can do is to serve my community. Brother Wilhelm, boy, always worth my time. Positive impact, pushing me in the right direction. Brother Lewis, yes, this is worth my time. It's always better to be selfless, focus on value, make an impact, and the wealth will come. Absolutely. Miss Teresa Gilliard, learn to fish so you can teach others how to fish as well as eat abundantly. Miss Felicia Gardner, yes, it's worth it. You have to want and give more out of our lives. Our gifts is to be of service to others. Yes, we are each other's keeper. Absolutely. Selfless behavior. Miss Teresa Renee Gladden, definitely worth my time. Don't chase the money. Be a money magnet, right? Showing us how to fish. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Well, we just continue to go through the book, The Wealth Choice. Again, we'll be done with this book probably 2 weeks, and then we'll move into the Black Billionaires Club. If you need to get that book, you just simply go to the website, theblackbillionairesclub.com. Shout out to our sponsors again, Black Bazaar, the Afro-Centric Marketplace, www.theblackbazaar.com. Blackberry Charisma, the Black woman-owned business with your custom crafts and lingerie, blackberrycharisma.com. For the Hustle Books, right, to help you with that business, get that business off the ground, get that book at hustlebooks.com, and Big Sis Media to help you with your digital needs, right, bigsismediagroup.com. This is New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in a book, and we absolutely will find it. 30 minutes a day, my beautiful people, 30 minutes a day to keep broke and stupid away. I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we really need. And thank God, that's more than enough. Until next episode, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
It's the New Black Wall Street Book Club with your host Evan Jefferson. It's time for us to go. Yeah. Now you ain't gotta leave the computer, but we encourage you to get out there and learn and apply all the things you learn at the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Yeah. The new Black Wall Street.